The day Earth changed forever started like any other. The sun rose over Seoul, South Korea, casting a warm glow on the bustling city. People went about their daily lives, unaware that high above them, something extraordinary was about to happen. At the Korea Aerospace Research Institute, things were different. Alarms blared through the control room, startling the night shift workers. Among them was Dr. Min-jun, a tall, lean man with sharp eyes and a calm demeanor. He had been dozing at his desk, but now he was wide awake. "What's going on?" Min-jun asked, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. His colleague, a young woman named Jisoo, looked at him with wide eyes. "We're picking up a signal. It's not from Earth." Min-jun's heart raced, but he kept his cool. He'd trained for this, even if he never truly believed it would happen. "Are you sure?" he asked, moving to look at Jisoo's screen. The signal was clear. It wasn't random space noise or a satellite malfunction. It was a message from aliens. Within hours, the news spread across the globe. Governments scrambled to respond. People panicked, celebrated, or simply stood in shock. The aliens, calling themselves the Vordax, wanted to talk. As the world's leaders argued over what to do, the Vordax made things simple. They wanted one representative from Earth to speak for all humans. They chose South Korea, impressed by its rapid development and technological advancements. And Korea chose Min-jun. Min-jun stood in front of a mirror, adjusting his spacesuit. It felt surreal. Yesterday, he was just an astronaut in training. Today, he was humanity's ambassador to an alien species. "You ready for this?" Jisoo asked, standing in the doorway. She'd been picked as part of Min-jun's support team. Min-jun took a deep breath. "As ready as I'll ever be." They made their way to the launch pad. A sleek, silver ship waited for them. It wasn't one of theirs. The Vordax had sent it to pick up Min-jun and his team. As they boarded, Min-jun couldn't help but marvel at the technology. It was like stepping into a sci-fi movie. The inside of the ship was smooth and white, with strange symbols glowing on the walls. A voice spoke, seeming to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Welcome, humans. Please prepare for departure." Min-jun and his team strapped themselves in. There was no countdown, no roar of engines. One moment they were on Earth, the next they were in space, the blue planet shrinking rapidly behind them. "Wow," Jisoo whispered, her face pressed against a window. "I can't believe this is happening." Min-jun nodded, too overwhelmed to speak. They were the first humans to travel faster than light, the first to leave their solar system. And they did it all without feeling so much as a bump. The journey took hours, but it felt like minutes. Suddenly, they were approaching a massive space station. It was like a giant metal flower, with petals stretching out into space. As they docked, Min-jun stood up, straightening his suit. This was it, the moment that would change everything. The ship's door opened with a soft hiss. Min-jun took a deep breath and stepped out. He found himself in a large, circular room. And there, waiting for him, were the Vordax. They were nothing like Min-jun had imagined. Tall and slender, with skin that shimmered like oil on water. They had no visible eyes, just smooth faces with small mouths. Their arms ended in delicate, multi-fingered hands. One of the Vordax stepped forward. When it spoke, its whole body seemed to vibrate. "Welcome, humans, to the Galactic Coalition. We have been watching your planet for some time, and we believe you are ready to join us among the stars." Min-jun swallowed hard. He was a scientist, an explorer. He had trained to study the stars, not to speak for all of humanity. But now, that was his job. He straightened his back and stepped forward. "On behalf of Earth," he said, his voice steady despite his nerves, "we are honored to be here. We have much to learn, but we also have much to offer. We look forward to working together." The Vordax's body shimmered, which Min-jun guessed was a sign of approval. Very good, it said. We will begin your orientation immediately. There is much to discuss. As Min Jun followed the Vordax deeper into the station, he couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and fear. Humanity had just taken its first step into a larger universe. What wonders would they discover? What challenges would they face? One thing was certain. Nothing would ever be the same again. Min Jun and his team spent the next few days on the Vordax space station. They learned about the Galactic Coalition, a group of alien races working together to explore the universe. The humans were amazed by the advanced technology and the variety of alien species they met. One morning, a Vordax named Zix came to their quarters. "It's time for you to see more of the galaxy," Zix said. "We're going on a journey to meet other races in the coalition." The humans packed their things and boarded a large ship. It was much bigger than the one that brought them from Earth. This ship had rooms for each of them, a big meeting area, and even a place that looked like a garden. As they left the space station, Jisoo pressed her face against a window. "Look," she said, pointing at the stars streaking by. "We're going so fast." Min Jun nodded, still amazed by how smooth the ride felt. On Earth, such speeds would crush them. But here, it was like standing still. Their first stop was a planet called Nibok. It was home to the glibs, a species that looked like giant slugs. The glibs moved slowly and spoke in low, rumbling voices. "Welcome, humans," a glib said, its body rippling as it talked. "We hope you find our world interesting." Min Jun and his team tried to be polite, but they found it hard to breathe in the thick, damp air of Nibok. They were glad when it was time to leave. Next, they visited Zar, a desert planet. The Zarians were tall, thin creatures with 4 arms and skin like sand. They moved quickly and spoke fast. "Humans, so slow, so soft," Azarian said, circling Min Jun. "How do you survive?" Min Jun felt a bit offended, but he kept his cool. "We may look different, but we're tougher than we seem," he said. As they traveled, the humans noticed something. Each alien race seemed perfectly suited to their home planet. The glibs thrived in the wetness of Nibok. The Zarians were built for the harsh desert of Zar. But none seemed able to live comfortably on other worlds. One night, as the human team sat in their meeting room, Taiwan, their engineer, spoke up. "Have you noticed how specialized each species is?" he asked. Jisoo nodded. "Yes, it's fascinating from a biological perspective. They're all so adapted to their environments." Min Jun frowned. "But that's not how it is for us. Humans live in deserts, jungles, even the Arctic." "Maybe that's why they think we're primitive," Taiwan said. "We're not as specialized as they are." The team fell silent, thinking about this idea. Their journey continued. They visited worlds with crushing gravity, others with barely any gravity at all. They saw planets of eternal night and ones with 3 suns. Each world had its own unique species, perfectly adapted to its environment. And on each world, the aliens looked at the humans with a mix of curiosity and pity. To them, humans seemed weak and poorly designed. They couldn't breathe underwater like the myrrh of Aquanos. They couldn't withstand the intense heat of Pyros like the Flamens. They weren't as strong as the Buldarns of Gravita. "How do you even survive on your world?" aliens would ask. "You're so basic." At first, these comments bothered the humans. But as time went on, they started to see things differently. "Maybe being basic isn't so bad," Jisoo said one day. "We might not be the best at any one thing, but we can do a little bit of everything." Min Jun agreed. "We're adaptable. That's our strength." As their journey neared its end, the team felt both excited and nervous. They had seen so much, learned so much, but they also knew that the real test was yet to come. Their final stop was Centrum, the capital planet of the Galactic Coalition. It was here that Earth's fate would be decided. Would humans be welcomed into the coalition, or would they be seen as too primitive, too weak to join? As their ship approached Centrum, Min-jun gathered his team. "Remember," he said, "we might not be the strongest or the fastest, but we're unique, we're human, and that's something to be proud of." The team nodded, standing a little straighter. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. They were ready to show the galaxy what humans could do. The human team's ship landed smoothly on Centrum. As they stepped out, they gasped. The city before them was like nothing they had ever seen. Tall buildings of strange, shimmering materials reached into the sky. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved about, some flying, some crawling, some floating. "It's amazing," Jisoo whispered, her eyes wide. Min-jun nodded, trying to keep his composure. "Remember, we're here to represent Earth. Let's make a good impression." A group of Vordaks met them at the landing pad. "Welcome to Centrum," one said. "The Grand Assembly is waiting for you." The humans followed the Vordaks through the city. Everywhere they went, aliens stopped to stare at them. Min-jun heard whispers and saw pointing fingers, or tentacles or claws. "They look so fragile," one alien said. "How did they even make it this far?" Another wondered. Min-jun felt his face grow hot, but he kept walking with his head held high. They arrived at a massive building that looked like a giant crystal. Inside was a huge room filled with thousands of aliens. At the center was a raised platform with a circle of seats around it. "That's the Council of Elders," a Vordax explained. "They will decide if Earth is worthy to join the coalition." Min-jun and his team were led to a small platform in front of the council. The room fell silent as one of the elders stood up. It was a being made of what looked like living metal. "Beings of the Galactic Coalition," the elder's voice boomed. "We are here to judge whether the species known as humans are ready to join our ranks." The elder turned to Min-jun. "Human, step forward and state your case." Min-jun took a deep breath and stepped up. He looked around the room, at all the strange and wonderful beings watching him. He thought of Earth, of all the people counting on him. Then he began to speak. "Respected elders, members of the coalition," he said, his voice steady. "We humans come before you with open hearts and minds. We may not be the strongest or the fastest or the most advanced, but we are curious. We are determined, and we are always striving to be better." He went on to talk about human history, about how they had overcome many challenges. He spoke of human art, science, and culture. As he talked, he saw some aliens leaning forward, looking interested. But then came the questions. "How can you survive with such weak bodies?" One elder asked. "Your technology is primitive compared to ours," another said. "How can you contribute?" "You fight wars among yourselves," a third pointed out. "How can we trust you?" Min-jun did his best to answer. He talked about human adaptability, creativity, and the ability to learn quickly. But he could see doubt on many alien faces. As the questions went on, Jisoo noticed something odd. She leaned over to Ta-1 and whispered, "Have you noticed that each species only asks about things related to their own strengths?" Ta-1 nodded slowly. "You're right. The strong ones ask about strength, the smart ones about intelligence." Jisoo's mind raced. She thought back to all the planets they had visited, all the specialized species they had met. An idea began to form in her head. Meanwhile, the council was deliberating. The head elder stood again. "We have heard your words, human," it said. "But words are not enough. We need proof that you are worthy." The elder's eyes, or what passed for eyes, swept over the human team. "We will put you through a series of tests. Physical trials, mental challenges, tests of character. If you pass, Earth will be welcomed into the coalition. If you fail, you will be sent home, and Earth will be isolated from galactic society." A murmur went through the crowd. Min-jun felt a chill run down his spine. He looked at his team, saw the worry on their faces. But then he saw something else. In Jisoo's eyes, there was a spark of excitement. She gave him a small nod, as if to say, "I have an idea." Min Jun turned back to the council. "We accept your challenge," he said firmly. The head elder nodded. "Very well. The trials will begin tomorrow. Prepare yourselves, humans. The fate of your entire species rests in your hands." As they were led out of the assembly hall, Min Jun couldn't help but wonder, what had Jisoo figured out? And would it be enough to help them pass these mysterious trials? After the grand assembly, the human team was taken to their quarters. It was a large room with strange, comfortable furniture that seemed to adjust to their bodies. But no one was relaxed. Min Jun paced back and forth. "These tests could decide the future of Earth," he said. "We need to be ready for anything." Taewon sat on a chair, looking worried. "But how can we prepare? We don't know what the tests will be." Jisoo, however, was excited. She had been quiet since they left the assembly, her mind racing with ideas. Now she couldn't keep silent any longer. "I think I've figured something out," she said. Everyone turned to look at her. Jisoo took a deep breath. "Have you noticed how each alien species is perfectly adapted to their home world?" The others nodded slowly. "Well," Jisoo continued, "I think that's their weakness. They're too specialized. Each species is amazing at one thing, but they struggle with everything else." Min Jun's eyes widened as he began to understand. "And we humans, we're not the best at anything," Jisoo finished. "But we're good at a lot of things. We're adaptable." The room fell silent as everyone thought about this. Taewon spoke up. "That's why they think we're primitive. We're not as strong as the strongest, or as smart as the smartest. But we can do a bit of everything," Min Jun said, nodding. "We can survive in deserts, jungles, Arctic regions." "Exactly," Jisoo said. "I bet these tests will cover all sorts of different challenges. The aliens expect us to fail at most of them, but we might be able to do okay in all of them." The team spent the next few hours discussing this idea. They realized that humans had many skills that might seem ordinary to them, but could be special here. "We can swim," Taewon pointed out. "Remember how amazed the desert aliens were by water?" "And we can climb," Min Jun added. "The floating aliens couldn't understand why we'd ever need to do that." As they talked, their excitement grew. They began to see their weaknesses as strengths. But Jisoo warned them to be careful. "We shouldn't show all our abilities at once," she said. "If we surprise them little by little, it might have a bigger impact." The team agreed. They decided to approach each test humbly, but to give it their all. As night fell, or what passed for night on this strange planet, they tried to rest, but sleep was hard to come by. They all knew that tomorrow, the real challenges would begin. In the morning, a Vordax came to their room. "It's time," it said. "The first test awaits." The team followed the Vordax through twisting corridors until they reached a large arena. Aliens of all kinds filled the seats, watching curiously. In the center was a strange obstacle course. The head elder's voice boomed out. "Humans, your first test is one of physical ability. You must complete this course, which simulates environments from across the galaxy." The team looked at the course. There was a climbing wall higher than any they'd seen. There was a pool of thick, bubbling liquid. There were narrow beams to walk across and heavy objects to move. Many aliens in the crowd were whispering and laughing. They clearly didn't think the humans could do it. Min Jun turned to his team. "Remember," he said quietly, "we don't need to be the best. We just need to show that we can handle different challenges." Jisoo nodded. "Let's show them what humans can do," she said. Taewon looked nervous but determined. "Together," he said. The team stepped up to the starting line. The aliens watched, ready to see these strange, soft creatures fail. But as the signal to start rang out, the humans sprang into action. They might not have been the fastest or the strongest beings in the galaxy, but they were far from weak. As they tackled the first obstacles, a hush fell over the crowd. The aliens watched in growing amazement as these primitive humans began to show just what they were capable of. The test had begun, and with it, the true revelation of humanity's unique place in the galaxy. The obstacle course loomed before the human team. It looked impossible. But Min Jun, Ji Su, and Tadawon were ready to give it their all. Min Jun went first. He faced the high-climbing wall. The aliens watched, sure he would fail. But Min Jun had been a rock climber on Earth. He started to climb, moving steadily up the wall. The aliens gasped as he reached the top much faster than they expected. Next was a pool of thick, bubbling liquid. Ji Su stepped up. She had been a swimmer in college. She dove in smoothly and began to swim. The liquid was strange, but Ji Su adapted quickly. She made it across, leaving the aliens buzzing with surprise. Taiwan faced the next challenge, moving heavy objects. He wasn't the strongest, but he was smart. He figured out how to use levers and rollers to move the objects. The aliens were amazed by his problem-solving skills. As the team worked through the course, the mood in the arena changed. The laughter and whispers turned to gasps and excited chatter. The aliens couldn't believe what they were seeing. "How are they doing this?" one alien asked. "They're not specialized, but they can do a bit of everything," another replied. The human team finished the course, tired but proud. They hadn't been the fastest or the strongest, but they had completed every challenge. The head elder spoke, its voice filled with surprise. "Humans, you have surprised us, but this was just the first test. The next will challenge your minds." The team was led to a new room. It was filled with strange machines and puzzles. The elder explained that they had to solve complex problems from different alien cultures. At first, the humans struggled. The alien concepts were very strange. But then, they started to work together. Ji Su was good at seeing patterns. She helped figure out the logic behind the alien puzzles. Taiwan used his engineering skills to understand the machines. Min Jun's quick thinking helped them adapt to each new challenge. Hours passed. The humans made mistakes, but they kept trying. They approached each problem with curiosity and determination. Slowly but surely, they started to solve the puzzles. The aliens watching were shocked. These humans weren't as fast as the smartest aliens, but they could understand and solve problems from many different cultures. "Their minds are so flexible," one alien scientist said. "They learn and adapt so quickly," another added. As the mental challenges ended, the humans were tired but excited. They had done better than anyone expected. But the elder announced there was one more test for the day. "Now we will test your character," it said. The team was led to a room with a strange machine. The elder explained that it was a simulator. It would create situations to test their decisions and values. The humans took turns in the simulator. They faced hard choices: save one life or save many. Tell the truth even if it hurts, or lie to protect someone. Work alone and get praise, or work as a team. The aliens watched closely, learning about human values and thinking. They saw how the humans struggled with hard choices, how they tried to be kind but also fair. They saw humans make mistakes, feel bad, and try to do better. "They have such complex emotions," one alien said. "And they care about others, not just themselves," another noticed. As the day of testing ended, the human team was exhausted. They had been through physical challenges, mental puzzles, and emotional tests. But they felt proud. They had shown the aliens something new about humans. The head elder approached them. "Humans," it said, "you have given us much to think about. You are not what we expected." Min Jun smiled tiredly. "We're full of surprises," he said. The elder nodded. "Indeed. Rest now. Tomorrow, the final tests begin. And then, we will decide Earth's fate." As the team headed back to their room, they felt a mix of hope and worry. They had done well, but would it be enough? What final challenges awaited them? And how would the aliens decide if humans were worthy to join the Galactic Coalition? With these questions in their minds, the tired but determined humans prepared for their most important day yet. The next morning, Min Jun, Ji-Soo, and Tai-Wan woke up feeling nervous but ready. Today was their last chance to prove that humans deserved a place in the Galactic Coalition. As they walked to the testing area, aliens of all kinds watched them. Some looked curious, others doubtful. The human team held their heads high and tried to look confident. The head elder greeted them in a large open space. "Humans," it said, "today's tests will be the hardest yet. We will see what you're truly capable of." The first test was about teamwork. The humans had to work together to build a complex machine. Each part of the machine was from a different alien world. At first, it seemed impossible. The parts were strange, and the instructions were hard to understand. But the humans didn't give up. Tai-Wan figured out how the parts fit together. Ji-Soo translated the alien instructions. Min Jun kept everyone calm and focused. Slowly but surely, they built the machine. The aliens watched in amazement. Most species would have argued or given up, but the humans worked together, helping each other and solving problems. "Look how they combine their skills," one alien said. "They're stronger together than apart," another noticed. The next test was about creativity. The humans had to find new uses for alien tools. This was Ji-Soo's time to shine. She came up with idea after idea, thinking outside the box in ways the aliens had never seen. Min Jun and Tai-Wan joined in, building on Ji-Soo's ideas. Soon, they had a whole list of new inventions and solutions. The alien scientists were shocked. "Their minds are so flexible," one said. "They see connections we never imagined," another added. The final test was the hardest. The humans were put in a simulator of an alien crisis. They had to save a city from a natural disaster using only the tools and knowledge they had learned. The situation was chaotic. Alarms blared, alien citizens panicked, and danger was everywhere. But the humans stayed calm. Min Jun took charge, giving clear orders. Tai-Wan used his technical skills to fix crucial systems. Ji-Soo thought of creative solutions to evacuate people safely. They made mistakes, but they learned quickly. They asked for help when they needed it, and offered help to others. They never gave up, even when things looked hopeless. As the simulation ended, the room fell silent. The aliens stared at the humans in disbelief. Then, slowly, they began to clap or make whatever sound their species used to show approval. The head elder stepped forward. Its voice was filled with awe. "In all my years," it said, "I have never seen anything like this." The elder turned to address all the aliens watching. "We thought these humans were primitive," it said. "We were wrong. They are not the strongest or the fastest or the smartest, but they are something we've never seen before." The elder paused, looking at each of the humans. "They are adaptable," it continued. "They can learn, change, and grow faster than any species we've encountered. They work together in ways we never imagined. Their minds are flexible, their spirits unbreakable." Min Jun stepped forward. "This is who we are," he said simply. "We're human. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. But we never stop trying to be better." Ji-Soo added, "We want to learn from you. And maybe you can learn something from us too." Tai-Wan nodded. "Together, we could do amazing things." The room buzzed with excitement. Aliens were talking quickly, gesturing at the humans. The mood had completely changed from the day before. The head elder raised its hands, or appendages, for quiet. "Humans," it said, "you have shown us something new. You have challenged our ideas about intelligence and ability." The human team held their breath. This was the moment they had been waiting for. "We believe," the elder said slowly, "that humanity will bring something unique and valuable to the Galactic Coalition." The humans' eyes widened. Did this mean The Elder's next words would decide the fate of Earth and humanity's place in the galaxy. The head Elder's voice rang out clear and strong. "Humans, we welcome Earth into the Galactic Coalition." The room erupted in cheers, whistles, and strange alien sounds of joy. Min-jun, Jisoo, and Taiwan looked at each other in disbelief. They had done it. Earth was now part of the galactic community. As the noise died down, the Elder continued, "Your species brings something new and valuable to our coalition. Your adaptability, your teamwork, your creativity. These are gifts we never knew we needed." The next few days were a whirlwind of activity. The human team met with representatives from many alien races. Everyone wanted to learn more about these surprising humans. "How do you adapt so quickly?" one alien scientist asked Jisoo. Jisoo thought for a moment. "I think it's because we're always curious," she said. "We like to ask what if and try new things." Meanwhile, Taiwan was showing some alien engineers how humans solved problems. "We don't always find the perfect solution," he explained. "But we're good at finding ways to make things work with what we have." Min-jun spent a lot of time with the coalition leaders. They wanted to know about Earth's cultures, governments, and ways of thinking. "Humans don't always agree," Min-jun told them. "We have many different ideas and beliefs, but that's part of our strength. It helps us see things from many angles." As news of Earth's acceptance spread, excitement grew. Many aliens wanted to visit Earth and see this planet of adaptable, creative beings. Others wanted humans to join their research teams or exploration missions. But there were challenges too. Some aliens were still unsure about humans. They worried that humans might be too unpredictable or too ambitious. "We understand those concerns," Min-jun said in a big meeting. "Humans have made many mistakes in our history, but we've also learned from them. We're always trying to be better." Jisoo added, "We don't want to change who you are. We want to learn from you and work with you. Together, we can do amazing things." Slowly, even the doubtful aliens began to see the potential of working with humans. After a month on Centrum, it was time for the human team to return to Earth. They had a lot to tell their people. Earth had a big job ahead, preparing to join the galactic community. As they boarded their ship, aliens from many worlds came to say goodbye. The head Elder was there too. "You have changed the coalition," the Elder told them. "We will never be the same, and I believe we will be better for it." The journey back to Earth seemed quick. The human team was excited to share everything they had learned. As they approached their blue planet, they felt a mix of joy and responsibility. Earth had a lot of work to do. They needed to prepare for alien visitors, set up new schools to learn alien sciences, and figure out how to work with very different beings. But humans were good at facing big challenges. Their adaptability, creativity, and teamwork would help them find a way. As their ship landed, crowds of people cheered. Families cried happy tears. World leaders waited to hear the news. Min-jun stepped out first, followed by Jisoo and Taiwan. They looked at the faces of their fellow humans, all so different, yet all part of this adaptable, surprising species. Min-jun took a deep breath and began to speak. "People of Earth," he said, "we have amazing news, and an amazing journey ahead of us." Jisoo smiled at the crowd. "We're part of something bigger now," she said, "but we have so much to offer." Taewon nodded. "The galaxy has seen the true form of humans," he added, and they were stunned. "Now it's time for us to show them what we can really do." As the sun set on this historic day, the people of Earth looked to the stars with new eyes. They were no longer alone in the universe. They were part of a grand coalition of worlds, and they were ready for the adventure ahead. In the years to come, humans would spread across the stars. They would face new challenges, make new friends, and change the galaxy in ways no one could have imagined. The age of Earth's isolation was over. The age of human exploration had just begun.